Hi, welcome everyone. Welcome to join our info session of the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. We are the School of Design. We are the Master of Design program. So today we will introduce our program, the PolyU, and also different disciplines of our program. First of all, may I invite Professor Stephen Wan, the scheme leader of the Master of Design program. Hi, Stephen, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Cici. Let me share my screen. Okay. Can everybody see my screen now? Oh, good. Okay, great. So welcome to this information session of a Master of Design 2023. It's a great pleasure to introduce you about this program. I think the purpose of this program is to help you to make a decision about a selection of a master program. You know, which program will be the best for you. When we talk about the program, normally I think will be mainly three things. So one thing is the professor who gonna teach you. And the second is the institution background and also the vision of the program. So mainly today's session is we're going to go around these three topics and give you some examples and more details and to let you understand more about this program. Okay. So please record all of your questions or any inquiries you may have, and later of this course we're going to have time for a Q&A for you to ask us. Okay, so at the beginning I would like to introduce the core team member of this MDes program. Of course, Professor Kong Pyong Lee, KP Lee, you can call him KP. is a dean of the school, and he's a swear professor of design and also an endowed professor in product design engineering. And we have Sylvia Xi Hui Liu, and who is associate professor, also assistant dean in the scope design, who will be leading the IBD innovative business design. And she has an intensive experience from industry and also has been leading IBDM, the previous version of IBD for several years. And we move to the right-hand side, you can see Dr. Cheryl Park, and who has many years experience in the industry, especially LG from Korea manufacturers, and who is currently assistant professor in scope design. And Cheryl will be leading the smart service design. And Professor Lo Hong and has I think more than 20 years, nearly 30 years academic career in the design field, who is a very experienced design educator and who will be leading the transitional environments design. And myself, I'm Professor Stephen Wang, and my field is user experience design and design intelligence, and also a director of our newly established research center of future carrying mobility. I will be leading intelligent system design. Okay, so as a very brief introduction, before this role, I joined PolyU since January 2020, so nearly 3 years. Exactly 3 years. So before this role, I was head of program of innovative design engineering, we call IDE, and also global innovation design. Two innovation design related program was running by RCA, Royal College of Art, with the Imperial College London, which is a double degree program. And also I was a co-founder, also the RCA director of RCAS Tokyo Design Lab. So before I came to London, I was a senior lecturer and the program director of Master of Interaction Design at Monash University, and also the founder and the director of what we call International Tangible Interaction Design Lab, ITD Lab at Monash. Okay, so before Monash, I was a professor and the leader of interaction design stream at the Tokyo Tokai University. So I have been working in the design education field for more than 20 years as well. Okay, so besides the staff, we have I want to talk a bit more about the School of Design. So School of Design has a long history, more than 50 years. And PolyU has been a very important hub of design education and research for Hong Kong since the 1960s. At the beginning, it was founded as part of the Hong Kong Technical College in the 60s. After that, in the 70s, it was renamed as the Department of Design. And in the 80s, was renamed as a Swear School of Design. And then when the school come to 90s, was kind of a boost of development, especially for the master program. So to us, it's very important because we launched the MA program in the 90s. And from 20s, the Master of Design program was known by the world and was selected as one of the world's best design thinking programs by the Business Week. And in the 2010s, we luckily have this beautiful building. From the promotion video, you could see we are very proud of this building. It's designed by Zaha Hadid, and was built up in 2013, and was when you walk in the building and study in the building, you actually could feel this kind of a creative spirit. Because there's no street light and no square windows even. So very exciting environment. And in the 2020s, as you know, everybody, especially Hong Kong, we were facing this kind of challenges by COVID. And the whole PolyU School of Design and especially Master of Design program, we proactively embrace the hybrid teaching mode. Because this innovative teaching style, MDes was successfully selected as the UGC taught postgraduate program fellowship scheme. So we have quite a number of schemes this year, especially for the local students, because only local students are allowed to apply this fellowship scheme. So if you from the local area, definitely look at this scheme. It's great support for financially to support your tuitions, etc. Okay, so it's a great opportunity, and we have reformed this MDes program from 2020 to 2021 and launched this new specialism. I will get back to that. Okay, so the school currently is keep growing. We become bigger and bigger. Currently, we have 63 academic and teaching staff, and supported by 91 general admin, research and project staff. And we have around 700 undergraduate students, master students around 185. Within these, is probably around 100 is for MDes and 80 something for MSc. And we have 55 currently, I think 55 PhD students, but the numbers keep growing. We become bigger and bigger. Okay, so one thing is worth noting is our faculty probably is one of the most internationally mixed in the world. And the team has intensive industry experience and conduct research in specialized area and bring this industry and skill mixed with academic skills into the classroom as well. Okay, and this our MDes scheme is every year probably only recruit around 100 students, more or less like that. And this size of the student community allow a very close-knit network of professionals. And you could see from right-hand side, a photo was the cohort of last year. So our alumni has been contributing in the industry, and from top corporate executives to world-renowned designers. The achievements of our alumni are not only limited to design, but also creative industries from a broad perspective. Many of our proud alumni are now leaders in innovation, brand strategy, and also other professions. For example, on the left-hand side, you can see Dr. Rico Chen. Rico is the founder and the CEO of Beyond Vision Projects, we call BVP. This new initiative aims to enhance the quality of life for visually impaired by focusing on like education, social inclusiveness, equal accessibility, and also employment opportunities for the visually impaired people. And I remember his, it's called TAS, tactile audio interaction system, which is a very multi-sensory interactive platform for the visually impaired to feel. Actually, he said to see, actually is to sense and experience art through the synchronization of touch and sound. This kind of mixed feeling is very innovative. I think it's very meaningful social solutions. That's this kind of solution is what we try to encourage in our MDes program. And on the right-hand side, you can see Mary Yu, who is a very successful fashion designer. And the Chinese featured and elements in her outfit design is beautiful. So especially her bespoke qipao, and this brand and the design under this brand is amazing. Very beautiful. So besides this very successful alumni, and our students in the past several years are very talented and trying to embrace the latest technologies and concerning about the challenges, the wicked problems, the emerging challenges in the world. So for example, you can see this example is called a data city. It's concerning about people's privacy issues because the data is very abstract. How can you touch? You can't really interact with the data. It's very hard. And how do you design about that? So this idea is trying to physicalize to make the data become tangible. And each little building of the city, you can see the cylinders like objects. It's app on your mobile phone. So you can manually actually add or take out this kind of privacy components from the building to manage your privacy concerns on the app. So by talking about this, we try to nurture our students with this kind of key knowledge components. First, we will emphasize the user, the market, the culture, and the context. That's the basic designers' concern. They need to get to know more of this overall context. Then to understand the technology. So this is like left brain and right brain. You have to put together. About the technology, in recent years, we emphasize on IoT, human-computer interaction technologies, and data intelligent, and also emerging IoT platforms, etc. This could be changing all the time, and maybe more advanced material, textiles, possibly. It depends. Also depends on students' interests as well. Then we're going to define the behavioral changes. For example, you could emphasize on different aspects like a circular economy, but you need to have your unique approach to provide this solution. Then to create this concept, and then we don't stop there. We emphasize on prototyping, especially to build up the core functionality and test it. Then we test and evaluation. Okay, so for ISD, for example, we emphasize on user experience and interaction design as a holistic term referring a wide range of design disciplines involves creating systems that are useful, usable, flexible, and also intuitive, and also pleasurable to use. We are not only limited to a very dry functional solutions, and we emphasize on some manifesto type of design as well. So for example, this called Brink concept is focusing on the physicalization of this blockchain and data. So every time you make a deal using blockchain, and this machine will physicalize the data into kind of a carbon particle. So if you say, how are we going to use this? Maybe not, focus on the practical solutions, but this providing is kind of a philosophical discussion. This is quite important, actually, sometimes more important than you do the practical design. For example, we all remember at the beginning of the COVID in Italy, they used this kind of robot called Tommy robot in the hospital to serve the patient. And this robot is running by AI. So it's supposed to be very smart, but people still don't like it, don't feel comfortable, because AI actually cannot replace the comfort and compassion of a human being. But on the other side, we need it, because automated technologies, including Tommy, is helping us to fight this COVID. So this brings us a very tricky question. What is the relationship between this kind of AI with a human? For example, trust. So if we don't have a trust, we cannot achieve a very effective and a very comfort service. And in other words, automated systems will only work if humans can feel comfort or interact with them in a very natural way. So that's why, not only about the very practical functions, but we need to take one step back to think about a bit bigger picture, a bit more philosophical discussion. We think it's very important. In terms of AI, I'll just go one step deeper. This picture behind is a video game called Detroit Become Human. This became famous because this is a decision-based game that explores the consciousness in machines and the social issues that surround it. So actually, this is not really a new topic. It's a sci-fi a novel or Hollywood movies to discuss about how we live or work with AI, how AI can change our society for probably more than 100 years. But when we look at AI now, we cannot really call this AI, can we? For example, based on the bigthing.com, they say artificial general intelligence is what we have been looking for. We call that AI. Is decades behind, and therefore is still very far away. So what we want to achieve is a human-like AI, and but now is kind of off track since the 1950s. So possibly you can argue what we are developing now is more like advanced machine learning, more powerful, faster, but it's not real general AI. So this gives us a question how we can allocate this decision making. Then this come to a very practical needs. For example, aging care. What kind of decision need to be made by elderly people? How about if they got dementia? And what kind of decision can be made by AI? Can you trust them? Whether people will feel comfortable. How about if you don't feel comfortable? There's many questions comes up. So then to this, some students will argue about in which context we're going to use automation, in which context we're going to use autonomous. So there's a big differences between this. So I won't go too deep in this, but what I'm just saying is we treasure this philosophical discussion, but we try to bring it back to the practical solutions to talk about the real users context and also the industry needs as well. So to summarize, our goal is to provide students with high flexible and interdisciplinary curriculum and to enable them to explore their full potentials. So our master's graduates are expected to equip with the skills of a broad range of knowledge, such as methods, techniques, and skills, etc. That will depends on your backgrounds as well. If you're from, for example, engineering background, you can emphasize more on the technical aspects. vice versa, or interdisciplinarity, and we emphasize on the area beyond the field of design. So which means we in our recruitment, we welcome students from all different fields. Of course, not only design, sociology, anthropology, arts, and design as well, architecture, many different fields, and also analytical and critical thinking. Don't purely just follow the trends, professional application development capacities, systemic thinking. We will have the ability to solve the complex problems, and also rigorous and independent thinking as well. Okay, so this align with the Stanford mentioned the T shape of talents we are trying to nurture. Okay, so based on this philosophy, this vision, we have developed our program into 4 different perspectives, including a STEAMed, which is a STEM plus art and design becomes STEAMed program, which is more focused on ISD, and the business perspective, service perspective, and humanities perspectives, which is IBD, SSD, and the TED. So these 4 perspectives are not individual, just standing by itself. We try to build up collaboration between these, and the students will have the ability, the possibility to go around of a different area to pick up selective subjects from different specialisms. So then our vision is talk about how we can think about this together, like a lens. Okay, so first you look at the humanities, why this is important to our society, to humanity, more philosophical discussion. Then we talk about technological, what kind of new technology can help to improve this situation. That, by other words, to the opposite direction, whether certain technologies such as AI is necessary. Okay, then service expand, become new to the service level or to the economy and the business level. So through the development, we have compared with the leading institutions of their programs, and we don't want to duplicate, but we want to be cutting edge. So we have to carefully tailor of our directions. So believe me, this has been this new program, current program, we have been developed for over a year. So all the details have been carefully discussed and tailored. So I won't go too detail of this. If you have any question, please feel free to ask the team and me later. Okay, so here I just want to give you a quick example. We have a long-term collaboration with the GBA industry, such as the Guangzhou Motors, the GAC group. We focus on the user experience design, and we to collaborate with them together, we developed this Artigo e-plan for the electric car charging systems. So when you talk about charging, you just say, okay, we just find the charging post and to charge my car. Actually, to achieve a very good user experience, it's not that straightforward. It depends on many different things. It depends on your car and how far your car can run, and how old is your car, how healthy is the battery, and who is sitting in the car. Are you driving alone, or with your mom, or with the 2 kids, etc. So all of this depends on which post in how far distance you should go, and also depends on weather condition as well. Is it snowing or raining, or you got a typhoon, or certain situation like that. So to provide a good, smart experience, you have to consider all of this together. So this is what we consider why we need a system, because designers see the world as a systems to be organized and integrated. Okay, so you cannot nowadays you talk about a device just only worry about only one device. It's everything is within a system. Okay, so to summarize, the new vision of the PolyU MDes is to nurture the proactive leaders and the game changers for the future industry. So that means it's a little bit forward looking and to look at the future with high level flexibility and variety restructuring in the curriculum. So the new MDes schemes give a new impetus to interdisciplinary research and education in the GBA region. And also we, as a designer, see the world as a system to be organized and integrated. We don't have to choose any specialties for a profession, but areas of study, specialisms as a source of knowledge and patterns. So we try to provide students with the flexibility as possible. And in our MDes program, designers of innovation fields at home of arts, humanities, science, engineering, and mathematics. It's very mixed and very flexible. So when we talk about flexibility, just want to give you a visual clue. The students can come in to pick up the nutrition resources from different subjects, and of course we have some prerequisites and co-requisites, you know, to have an efficient teaching manner, but we try to provide the flexibility. We emphasize that very much, and we try to let students become to be a different type of designers when they graduates. Okay, so for the type reason, just quickly, for example, Patrick from engineering background, who has been working in the web design industry for many years, and possibly if he is considering a career change, and maybe ISD could be a good solution for him. Okay, so when we come to the curriculum, just because later in the coming session, your specialism leader will give you more detailed introduction of the curriculum. I just here give you a very general design of the overall curriculum. And this is a 3 terms program, including term 1, 2, and summer term. And in total is 36 credits. So which means 36 divided by 3, which is 12 credits per term average. But if you do a bit more in the term 1 or 2, you can have a bit more relaxed, maybe not good word, a bit more focused study style in the last term. Okay, so in each term you're gonna have a foundation and specialism research, basic research, which is just yellow color, and lab studies or specialism studio subjects, or both. Okay, so in the last term, you can see you're gonna have a little bit of space there, and you will focus on the capstone, and which is will be supported by research and academic writing, and will give students a very good path if you want to do your PhD in the future. Okay, so to talk about the infrastructure and the equipments, and we have a very good facilities and equipment here, and these facilities and equipment supporting different types of styles of teaching. Okay, so okay, so that's it. This is about the MDes program. So we try to reposition our program as a you know, part of the Hong Kong repositioning activity in the Greater Bay Area as well. Okay, so thank you very much. This is Stephen Wong.
Thank you, Stephen. So the next session, we will do the IBD introduction. May we invite Dr. Sylvia Liu, the specialism leader of the Innovative Business Design. Sylvia, please. Stephen, maybe. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Sylvia from the School of Design, and also the specialism leader of the IBD, which is stand for the Innovative Business Design. I will briefly introduce our specialism here. If you want to know more, please join our breakout sections later. I will introduce a curriculum design and also our teaching staff. So the overall vision of the IBD, I highlighted some words here. You can read through the paragraphs by yourself. We emphasize on the meaning creation. although our title is named as a business, but we don't limit it our scope in the business world, but it is also including the social innovation. So that's the reason we put down here meaning creation. So it doesn't matter whether you emphasize only the profit earning or a better word you want to create. Of course, we wanted to bring the whole spectrum in our curriculum. And also, Dr. Stephen Wong mentioned the interdisciplinary actually will be the main characteristic for the MDes, but we actually put a little bit higher requirement in the IBD because we emphasize on transdisciplinary, not only the interdisciplinary. So if you are familiar with this term, you will know actually transdisciplinary knowledge means you needed to build up a higher level knowledge through your understanding about the knowledge from the different disciplinary. So it's not just you're working with others from the different disciplinary background. Overall, we will emphasize the three main areas: design, business, and technology, which is also the three key knowledge we require for the innovation in the today's whole business context and industry context. So we position ourselves in the Hong Kong, of course, and also the GBA with a legend of our previously program IDBM, which is International Design and Business Management. We want to play our role as a catalyst, not only our program, our teaching staff, and our students, hopefully also the student who graduate from the IBD can be the catalyst of the innovation activities. So who might be our students? We never limited the students we take in design. We welcome the students from the different disciplinary background and the professional background. Design student, technology background, engineering, even social science, we always take those students every year. And also in terms of the experience in the industry, we take the fresh graduates. Of course, you should be very good fresh graduates. And the junior practitioners, maybe just 2 or 3 or 5 years, or the middle level or the team leaders, and even the founders. Every year we take the students who actually already running their own business several years. So we will have all those students work together through this 1-year intensive program. So what we are discussing, we actually put into the two contexts. Overall is a system view to look at the challenges. One is HCPS, which is mean human cyber physical system. So a system integrate human cyber. Cyber, if you don't actually understand what means the cyber word, and meta word could be an easier term for you to understand that. And also the physical word. Physical word is mean the thing you can touch and feel directly. So we're talking the understand how the different kind of the new technology can change the world into a systematical view, which is integrate human, cyber, and physical. So that is HCPS stand for. And we also emphasize a context of the today's environment we call the VUCA. VUCA is talking about like uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, volatility. So those characteristics can describe today's challenges in the industry and the real world. So we will mainly focus on the approach with the methods of we create integrated design thinking and the approach of we call the design-driven entrepreneurship to facing the challenging from this new context. The overall goal is to achieve the innovation leadership for our students. Then they can well prepare for the change and leading the transformation in the industry and in the innovation activities. So this is what we will offer in the IBD. If you want to know more, join us the breakout sessions. See you soon.
Thank you, Xavier. So the next session will be the introduction of the ISD. So may I also invite Professor Stephen Wang again. He's also the specialism leader of the intelligent system design. Stephen, please.
Okay, let me share my screen again. Yes, here we go. Okay, thank you very much. Here, I would like to introduce the Intelligent System Design ISD. When we develop this specialism, the key question is what do we stand for? So by talking about that, we have to look back in history and what we should focus on. So in here, when we look at things, we normally look at technology development and also social changes. You know, there's a closely linked between technology development and social changes. Every time you have a technological revolution, you have big social changes as well, such as electricity, such as petrol cars. And then based on this technological revolution, we talk about the design education, then we can see the context. So when we talk about the time, we divide into industry era, now probably post-information era, and also in the middle, there's the information era. Okay, so the technology development is from the truth to the material. You know, you remember many years ago, the Herman Miller chair and, you know, this kind of hardware product design, Brown, Frog, this kind of famous design companies, they all focus on the physical products, but now it's different. It's, you know, Facebook and Google, etc. It's more about the information and knowledge. So in the social change is focusing on from constructivism to behavioralism, more about people's behavior. So the top design school around that time is the Bauhaus, as you know, because the Bauhaus task is need to solve the problem of the mass production. So when people started using machine to produce products and to make buildings, and so the needs is quite clear, you know, how we combine crafts and fine arts in the technology. But now the social needs become to be more on the personalized, customized, ubiquitous, and intelligent, this kind of technology. And we have to focus on HCI and communication and innovative and aesthetics as well. So because of this, we identify the gap here. It's more a systemic procedural approach, focus on experience and interactions of the innovation. So to do that, we can be able to develop the new type of products or systems or services. Okay, so this is our vision, and we believe at least to 2035, in the next 10 years, will be valid, will be the mainstream theory. Okay, so when we talk about the challenges here, we believe the future master program is unavoidably to be a high-tech centered, experimental and creative and exploratory, which has become the necessary and also vital to enable our students to catch up the new wave of technology paradigms, like Sylvia just mentioned, the metaverse. If the metaverse technology come out, how can you catch the design opportunities as a designer? So in here, our goal is clear. You know, as an educator in the field of design, we are determined to nurture the leaders and game changers for the future industry, not only someone to design the details of the, I don't know, the interface or hardware package. Okay. So thank you very much. And this is a very brief introduction of ISD. If you're interested in ISD, you're more than welcome to join me in the ISD session. Thank you.
Maya. Okay, thank you, Stephen. Yep. So the next section will be the introduction of SSD. May I invite Dr. Shira Park? She is our specialism leader of the Smart Service Design. Shira, please.
Sure. Let me share the screen. So everyone can see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shara Park, Specialism Leader of the Smart Service Design. Today, I'll give you a very short introduction about SSD and explain about the program structure and details later sessions. So if you want to know more about Smart Service Design, please join in breakout sessions. So Smart Service Design is a newly developed master program launched in last year. And the PolyU is the first university in Hong Kong offering the both master's and bachelor level of the design. So in this coming academic year, we have two different modes of study. First, 1 year full-time, which consists of the 3 semesters of the studies, and then part-time mode, which we learn through last 3 years. So we also have the scholarship and the fellowship schemes for the questions. So please take a look at the website, also join the breakout session for the more details. So what is the Smart Service Design stands for? SSD is not just the user experience design or information or product designs or any other single output of the design applications, but we consider entire end-to-end services and then customer experience that aims to create holistic service ecosystems. So SSD is more focused on people, at the same time, the value of business as well as the society, what people do, how people actually perceive that expected needs, and also certain processes in the system that they involve in their everyday living. So we care much about the how the designing of services actually smartly serve people's everyday needs from the holistic, strategic, and systemic perspective. So how can you actually do that? There are 3 key aspects SSD mainly consider. Firstly, SSD consider the problems or challenges in our society or the environments. It means that what is desirable also needed in our everyday livings and society, such as what are the new patterns or habits after pandemics, what would be the environmentally friendly after urbanizations, also what would be the ideal living condition in our intergenerational livings. Also, on the other side, SSD also consider the economic and the business value, meaning what is the viable in the markets, what's operable in the service economy, and what value actually people would get from the service they use. And lastly, technology aspect, what newly possible or applicable, such as autonomous vehicle and the smart city schemes and IoT, big data, robots, and so on. So how these new technical capacity can actually bring us new service experience for all, and how this can open new design opportunities. So in our SSD, we start from the top, which is the needs and challenges that occur from our society, and then consider together with the new business value, as well as the new technical capacities and feasibilities. So altogether, with those 3 aspects, SSD, we aim to create the meaningful service intervention through multidisciplinary approaches. So let's look at the short video for better ideas, what we can actually do. So as shown in the video, there are potential project opportunities that you can expect from the service design. We can reimagine the new service scenarios, such as what if car can drive itself? What new service opportunities can be developed? And what if we only work and study at a certain place without actual human interactions? Or how smart devices or platform can actually better care us, or what if we need the digital concierges at home or certain place, what new services can be developed. So what about if robots or AI applied in our everyday living conditions? So all these kind of questions, we can reimagine the new services scenario during our programs. And in 2022, which is last year, we had a series of industry partners, Lego, Kone, and China Champs. Students actually worked on the real design brief from the industry as their project, as a teamwork, and received some awards as well as certificate from our industry partners. Also, they had a chance to work with them as an internship later on. So we are expecting actually more partners to come in this coming academic year. So hopefully you guys can explore much more the variety of the partners. And going forward, SSD graduate would play as a role in the wider range of the service sector from both private and publics. So SSD actually positioning themselves in a center, and students will be able to understand both customers and business side, also understand strategic levels or operational level together. Therefore, the students after graduate, they can take the leadership role in multidisciplinary teams, not working alone, but collaborate with other disciplines together. In terms of future career-wise, students can actually become like a service designers or the user experience strategist or design researcher or design consultant or design managers, startup entrepreneurs. It's all these are possible through our program, depending on how you want to develop your interest and career, either more experiential tracks or the business or management tracks. So if you want to know more about the detail and our structures and what you can actually learn from the SSD, please join the next breakout sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, Shira. So the next session will be the TED introduction. May I invite Dr. Sunny Choi? She is the subject leader and the core team member of the Transitional Environments Design. Hi, Sunny, please.
Hi. I'm going to share the screen now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. My name is Sunny Choi. Together with the Lo Hong Gutierrez, we are running a TED course, which we call the Transitional Environment Design. This is where we are positioning. Very interesting way. Last year, 2022, September, so academic year 2022-2023, we just launched this program in Hong Kong. But this is the first time this program has been launched and offering the course in overall Asia. If I can explain about the background of this term of transitional design, within the field of design education institutes, we become more focusing the climate change emergency by seeking to develop the courses that can be prepare students for the interdisciplinary range of skill and their understanding and their knowledge to be required. So working between and across the established educational disciplinary of urban planning, urban design, geography, and even biology and computer science, Carnegie Mellon, the university in Pittsburgh in USA, they established the Transition Design Institute and has been offering the course in transition design since 2014. But from 2022, as what I briefly explained it, the Hong Kong Polytechnic University has offered the master program in School of Design. So transitional environment, it is a term recently used to describe the new form of the hybrid space and habitat that has emerged within and across in our contemporary cities. So during the last few decades in Hong Kong and the mainland, especially in the GBA, there has been increased design focus on distinctive spatial and social and economic characteristic and taking challenge that emerging in this space and place and in even organization, and then on the street, at both, even the rural, and then urban, and the land, and even the sea. So now, more holistic and regenerative perspective. In this course, TED, that's what we are delivering and leading the program to focusing with the ecological and ecosystem thinking and the multi-layers of the environmental aspect. But doing that thing, what we are focusing, as what we see, the global challenges that are taking place with the loss of the issue at different scale from the local level up to the international level and global level, transforming to as opportunity that highlighted the Sustainable Development Guideline, which has been established in United Nations since 2015. But these Sustainable Development Goals in United Nations, what they provide, this guideline is for 17 focused interlinked objective design, which can serve as shared blueprint, the guideline, which we are using as a blueprint in our course. So traditionally, how we understood sustainability and regenerative design, it was mainly 5 key aspects. That's what you see in the left-hand side: nature, the network, and even infrastructure, and then urban fabric, society, and then anthropos. But how we transform and transit in our course to look at this environment, we are trying to create and understand as the broader scales of the holistic way of urban system, to looking from the raw resources, materials, and energies, and then even the life cycle to look at production and consumption, and how we are living from the living creature and the living system, from the small, tiny micro scale up to the macro scale. It means beyond the planet scales. So our course, where we are positioning, is what you see, the built environment, built world, what we are producing, what we are creating, what kind of environment we are actually living with. That's built environment. The other course, they are more closely related with this built environment to produce the design for the service and design for the social innovation. But where we are, we try to look at this in our living system and living environment, more close to way of the natural environment. That's where we are and how we are positioned. So as a summary, what we are doing in TED, we try to lead and guide this systematic thinking to formulate as multi-dimensional the perspective view, such as what we can see our living system from the geographical level, so geosphere, atmosphere, biosphere, even beyond as noosphere. Maybe that's not really familiar word for most of you guys out there, but that's about our mind, our spiritual, and then even our attachment. That's what we are trying to teach and guide in our program. That's all for now. If you want to know a little bit more, you can join a bit later after session.
Okay, thank you, Sunny. So we have already had the introduction of the 4 specialism. The next session there will be a breakout session. You could choose the breakout room that you would like to join for more details introduction. So in case you don't know, you can find the breakout room icons in the bottom control panel. So when you click the breakout room icon, you can choose the breakout room that you want to join. You may see the short form and also the full name of the breakout room for each specialism. So when you choose the room and then you click join, then you can join the breakout session. So after that, if you want to return to the main section for our admission Q&A, so you could just click the Leave Breakout Room icon in the bottom right-hand corner. So this is, just a second. So the time now, we will have a half an hour for the breakout session. So we will have a reminder to you for before before we start the Q&A admission section at around 3:25. So please enjoy the breakout session. See you later. Hello, everyone. Welcome to join our main sessions. In this session, we will share some administrative information that you may want to know. Okay, so the first thing is for non-local students. So we would like to introduce you the immigration policy of Hong Kong. So if you apply for our program and got the offer, you will have 1 year of the student visa. And then after you finish your study in Hong Kong, you may apply for the IANG visa, which is the immigration arrangement for non-local graduates. So under this arrangement, you got 2 years of the island, and then in these 2 years, you may want to stay in Hong Kong without any other condition, and you could find a job here and explore the employment situation here. So after, if you can able to get the job offer in these 2 years, you may apply for the extension of the visa for 3 more years, subject to the immigration department's approval. So the maximum of years that you may got for studying in Hong Kong and also stay in Hong Kong will be 1 year plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 year plus 2 plus 3 plus 3. So it's total 9 years in Hong Kong. So for your information, actually about half of our local non-local graduates and taking this advantage of the island scheme to stay in Hong Kong and get the job offer here or start their life here. Okay, so the next one will be the scholarship for different types of students. This one is the IES, International Excellence Scholarship. This scholarship mainly target for non-local students. As you may see, the scholarship value for half of the tuition fee is about like 100,000 Hong Kong dollars. It is a merit-based scholarship established to promote the multicultural and the multidisciplinary design and innovation. So for this scholarship, you don't need to apply for the scholarship. When the scheme will identify any outstanding applicant and inform them about the awards and admission. The second one will be the TUS, the Top University Scheme. It is also for the non-local student. The scholarship value at 15% of the tuition fee, which is around 31,000 Hong Kong dollars. This is a scholarship designed to attract more motivated and commendable students from the university to continue their study in the PolyU Design. So for this scholarship, if you want to apply, you may submit the self-nomination form when you receive the interview invitation. You could get more details when you receive the interview invitation. Okay. So for the next one will be the fellowship. This is the fellowship is for local students. Our MDes program is one of the targeted postgraduate program fellowship scheme. So for this fellowship, the local student may get the tuition subsidy, which is around 120,000. So in general, after you gotten the fellowship, you need to only pay for 81,000 Hong Kong dollars for the master degree. But please be reminded of the eligibility of the scholarship of the fellowship. If you receive any other form of financial aid from the government, you cannot apply for this fellowship. So how could you apply for this fellowship? If you are interested, you may download and complete the application form together with your application submitted on the online system. And for the application form, you may find through this QR code or the website for the government website. You can download the form. And together with the form, you need to include a personal statement of 300 to 500 words to explain why you think you are qualified for the fellowship and state your plan after graduations. So the consideration of this fellowship application is on rolling basis. So I suggest you can apply for our program and also the fellowship as early as possible in order to secure your place and also the fellowship quota. If you have successfully applied a fellowship, you will receive the result in the insurance notice of the offer. Okay, some more information about the fellowship. So the evaluation criteria is based on the academic achievements, the professional qualifications, relevant working experience and achievement in other areas, your interview result, and also the personal statement that you submitted. Okay, for the detailed arrangement for the finance. So in order to, you first need to accept the offer, and then you need to settle the initial program fee equivalent to 6 credit, which is around 33,000 Hong Kong dollars. And then the tuition fee will be offset by the fellowship subsidy. Okay, but please be reminded, you can see in the right-hand side, there is some like criteria for you to obtain the fellowship. So for the student, you need to get minimum award GPA for 3.0 and no subject grade D in order to get the fellowship. And you also need to complete the program with the normal study period. You cannot withdraw your study or change your local or non-local student status. Otherwise, you may need to refund the fellowship. Okay, so if you are unable to successfully apply for the fellowship, there are some other funding options for you may consider. There is a nominee loan from the government, and also for the details, you may see the details in these 2 websites for more details. Okay, last but not least, this is the application details about our program. So in order to meet the entrance requirement, you need to fulfill the English requirement as stated here. And then you need to submit the online application together with all the required supporting documents, for example, personal documents, 2 recommendation letters, preferably one in academic and one for work. And then the evidence of the academic qualification, for example, your degree or diploma, cert, etc. And your disciple file, and also if your institution, the medium of instruction is not English, you need to get the English test result for our reference as a requirement. And also, if you like to apply the fellowship or scholarship, you need to send us the application form as well. So for all the application, we will repeat. You need to submit your application on or before 13th of April, but you may want to consider to apply as soon as possible in order to secure your place. So that's all for today's section. Thanks for joining today. And if you have any further questions, please feel free to contact us by email. So hope to see you all in our program on September. Thank you.